all of you citizens out there, I want you to listen to what Obama has said before. Here he is on the campaign trail, May 9, 2008. Hat tip Newsbusters. Got one, go.
If we're going to get serious and cap the emission of greenhouse gases that are causing global warming, then we are going to be having power plants have to figure out how they're going to reduce their carbon, because they'll have to pay penalties if they exceed the cap. And that means that they're going to have to change how their power plants operate. And that means, in turn, that they'll have to make investments that they will try to pass on to consumers and could result in higher electricity prices. Now, over the long term, what happens is that technology catches up and those electricity prices go down. In the short term, though, people individually who can afford it, and the government will help, but we're going to all have to be more energy efficient.
That is a rambling way of saying I am going to dictate to power plants how they're going to operate. That will drive the cost of electricity up. Also on the campaign trail that same day, he said this, cut two, go.
Not only do we have to invest in mass transit, but we also have to make sure that
Let's stop a second. This mass transit stuff is absurd. Absolutely absurd. And we know that from our own experience, the costs in Amtrak, and that's not even mass transit. That's just a train system going up and down the East Coast, as well as the rest of the country, but I'm talking about the Acela service. But the idea that mass transit works, mass transit doesn't work. It works for a relative handful of a small percentage of the population. Hey, I take a bus. Hey, I get it. But you're in the minority, a small minority. Americans like their mobility. They like their automobiles. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Apparently Obama likes to travel a lot, too. And not on mass transit, on our dime. Go ahead.
That people are making good decisions about cars. And they're free to, people are free to buy a Suburban if you want that gets 8 miles a gallon. But we can't subsidize to make sure that you are able to fill up your Suburban tank at a really cheap rate, because that's not the trajectory of oil prices worldwide.
First of all, when you hear him talk about something he doesn't know anything about, isn't it painful? They're not even complete sentences. This isn't even English. So let me interpret, because I'm good at interpreting Obama speak. Notice how he uses the word subsidize so loosely, and he uses it all the time. So in other words, if you purchase a Chevy Suburban, if you purchase the gasoline, if you maintain it, you buy the insurance, somehow he is subsidizing you. He's not subsidizing anybody or anything. So what does he mean we can't subsidize to make sure that you have and then it rambles off. But it's just absurd. Now we have a cut from January 17th, 2008. Cut three, go.
When I was asked earlier about the issue of coal, under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
Stop. Okay. So he's driving up the price of coal. He's telling us these things. He's driving up the price of gasoline. And he's driving up the price of electricity. Isn't that what's happening today, ladies and gentlemen? He said in 2008, these are the things he was going to do. These are the things he wanted to do. Now, today he says, hey, well, I can't control this. There's no silver bullet, I think he said. I can't control this. It's an international thing. In 2008, he said he would do these things. He's doing these things. And he doesn't want any credit for it or discredit because he's running for office and you're not very happy about it. You folks in these 4 swing states, quote unquote, pay attention, I hope. Go ahead.
Even regardless of what I say about whether coal is good or bad, because I'm capping greenhouse gases, coal power plants.
Stop. Is this not dictatorial language? This is a guy who sits there. I'm capping this. I'm driving up the price of electricity. I'm not going to subsidize. The hell is this? Now, if you're at Ameritopia, you know exactly what it is. But we know what this is. Do you like this kind of talk from your president? Isn't he supposed to represent us? He's telling you what you're going to do, how you're going to live. And not for the betterment of society, ladies and gentlemen. This doesn't improve our society one damn bit. Go ahead.
Natural gas, you name whatever the plants were, whatever the industry was, they would have to retrofit their operations.
Stop. This is a guy that doesn't even know what it means for them to retrofit their operations. He just throws these phrases. They're going to have to retrofit. Well, what does that mean, Mr. President? How do you retrofit a coal mine operation? Can you tell us? Well, they're going to have to retrofit. It sounds so good. Yeah, let's applaud. We're not subsidizing Suburbans anymore. Go ahead.
That will cost money. They will pass that money on to consumers.
A lot of passing on money to consumers going on, folks. You feeling it in your pocket yet? Oh, yeah. Passing on the price of energy. You know, energy affects everything. Like I said the other day, even your condoms. Yes. They're all petroleum products. One more. January 17, 2008, interview with the San Francisco Chronicle. Cut 4, go.
So if somebody wants to build a coal-powered plant, they can. It's just that it will bankrupt them because they're going to be charged a huge sum for all that greenhouse gas that's being emitted.
Well, the truth is they can't because Obama's not allowing them. And, in fact, Obama is destroying a number of them, as we've talked about before, how many of these plants are now going out of business or are now online to go out of business. This is his Green Jobs program. I'll be honest, I don't even know how he has 41% approval in the polls. When the president announces how he's going to destroy the energy system in this country, how he's destroying the healthcare system in this country, how he's destroying the job creation, home ownership, and when he's cornered on it, he pretends he has nothing to do with it. If there's some credit to be taken, it's all him. It's just